Crowd of boys, peace with the lick read. Come to talk to you boys today about semen retention and having a nonchalant attitude. And this is a trait, this is an attitude adjustment on your journey, which you should conquer, which you should have as a man, to be able to overtake this matrix and what comes with it, to be able to navigate, to be able to control your emotions, to have your emotions in check. And I'm gonna go over a couple things, of course, on this audio of what this nonchalant attitude brings. Touch on some of the traits and talk about energy, because this is energy that you bring that is just a part of you, and you don't let anything come in your way and affect your mood, affect your being, ultimately, you dig? So I'm gonna jump right into this, man. Energy is everything. And as I've said in previous audios, and this is like my motto, and this is what I live by, that the higher frequency always wins. So this nonchalant attitude, it may seem, or it is, this calm, cool, and collected demeanor. But this is a frequency that you're on, that your energy is so high and vibrating that you are protecting it. This is ultimately a protection of your energy. And this energy must be protected because it is a high vibrational energy, and people will try to bring you down. Like I said, we're in this matrix, so there will be agents, you dig? And those agents will bring or try to bring your energy down. And it is up to you to control your energy, to protect your energy, and to ultimately be you and not let outside forces bring your energy down. You're not pressed. There's no pressure. You're indifferent, and nothing phases you. Your response to situations is done in a mellow type of way. How you handle things, how you work. You know, time, I also talk about time too, is that you are able to control time. You are able to control the things around you. You're able to manipulate time. So the time that you take to do things, respond to people, if somebody texts you, if you decide to text them right back, then, you know, that's a form of giving your energy away. If somebody calls you, you decide to answer that phone, understand that whoever that person is, or whoever is calling you, that is going to be a type of energy exchange. And if you entertain that said person, then that will dictate what type of energy will come out and what you will be putting out to that person. So if there's some bullshit that you know that is coming from a person, you know the characters that you have to deal with in your life, then expect that energy exchange, but be aware of the person that you're dealing with. Now, this semen retention journey, as you harness your sexual energy, your emotions also comes along with that. You are controlling your emotional state. You are controlling your emotions. When we talk about urges and when we talk about lust, that is energy, right? And the better you are at controlling those emotions of lust and your sexual energy, the better you become in controlling other emotions, your anger, your fear. You dig what I'm saying? So this all correlates in one where it all comes together. And once when you're at a state of just being, you will have this attitude. And this is an attitude adjustment. I don't know how some of you were before this journey, if you already had that demeanor of being nonchalant, kind of laid back, being mellow, being low key. You know, this should come easy for you, and this is off the cuff. My personality, you know, I'm outgoing, I'm outspoken, I speak my mind, but I also know there's always a time to, you know, kind of fall back. So I've always had that kind of cool, you know, nonchalant, watch my surroundings, watch who I talk to, and not giving out my energy like that. But I'm not afraid to admit when people piss me off, if something rubs me the wrong way, I'll say it. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind or how I'm feeling. And that was kind of I'm not going to say a bad thing for me, but that was just something that was off the cuff. Yo, if somebody say something to me that I take as disrespectful or that I take as wrong, then I'm going to say it. If nobody's going to speak up, I'm going to speak up. But sometimes you just got to let that shit go. You dig what I'm saying? Because people don't deserve your energy. People who want to get a reaction out of you don't deserve your energy. So you got to know your characters. You got to know who and what you're dealing with, and be able to say, yo, listen, man, to yourself, yo, listen, I'm not even going to respond. Sometimes no response is the best response. And sometimes that silence speaks louder than words. And that all comes from how you are in your emotional state and what you're willing to deal with. All right. This is a care less attitude, right? Care less, not careless, but care less. You care less about things, all right? But you're not careless, right? You're not careless with your feelings. You just care less about your feelings, if I can say that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying like you don't care about yourself. It's just that this is a trait that your care for certain things are just, you're just like, it's whatever, you know what I mean? And you're just willing to deal with it as it comes. All right. Because when you care too much, sometimes it can put you in a state of worrying. All right. When you care too much, you can worry. And that's another trait that you can have that can hinder you and put your energy in jeopardy. When you care too much and then you start to give your energy to something that doesn't really even matter. All right. And it's not to say that you're detached to the point where you're out of touch. And that's where you don't want to mix the two, where you're at the point of that you're so detached that you're out of touch with things. You're there, you're present, or you're in the moment. You feel what I'm saying? But it's just that your attitude towards it is that you just care less. I could care less about what you're saying right now because that shit don't matter to me and it don't affect me. All right? You just understand and you know what matters the most to you and what serves you. And then you know your worth. You know your energy is high and your frequency is high, and the higher frequency always wins. Once again, all right? Once again, you know your worth, and that's very key in this nonchalant attitude. It's not that you don't give a fuck about people, that you don't care about people. You just know your worth. And this comes from your semen retention journey. Understanding that your semen, that this vital fluid that you hold in is very key and essential to you. So this regeneration and this recycling of your semen flowing through your body, it creates your self-worth. All this self-care, all this self-love that we're pouring back into ourselves, this creates your worth. So you understand that. All right. Your self-worth has a lot to do with, or your worth has a lot to do with your energy, your time, your resources, and your attention. Some people can take this nonchalant attitude as disrespect because their energy is off, or they want a response from you and they feel like you don't care about them. You know, I dealt with this one female almost a year ago, and I had to break, the relationship off because she was, and it wasn't like a real relationship. Like, this wasn't my girlfriend. This was just somebody I was dealing with. And this was when I was on a 3-month streak, right? And I started talking to this female, and I ended up having sex with her and stuff like that, but only had sex with her as many times I count on my hand. I'll say 4 times. But I didn't feel right because I wasn't emotionally there. I was in balance in my emotions. And I let her know, like, I can't do this. I can't keep on having sex with you. I feel bad. I know that what you want from me is a emotional attachment. You dig what I'm saying? You want me to be there for you emotionally, and I feel wrong for having sex with you, and I can't give you what you want, but in exchange you're, having sex with me, and I don't feel right. And at first she took it, you know, as me, being forthcoming and being truthful, and actually, admiring me for that, for, speaking my truth and saying how I feel. But, the craziness came out of her, where she began to stalk and began to come for me. But when she started to do that, I took the attitude of not getting angry or upset. I just blocked her. I ultimately had to block her. I'm not going to go too much into detail of how this woman's craziness came out, but it almost became harassment. It was harassment. She would email me after I blocked her and stuff like that. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but my emotional state was that I was emotionally unavailable for her, and I knew that, because I knew my attitude, and I knew that the semen retention journey was taking me down a route that was just at a space where my spirit was telling me, listen, you need to emotionally invest into yourself. I said in previous audios and spoke on, me going through a divorce and stuff like that. So when I was finally free from my ex-wife, I felt the need to go out, talk to different females and, have sex and stuff like that. But I was still on semen retention and practicing semen retention. But when I met this female and we started to talk, we started to vibe, we ended up having sex, right? But it made me feel some type of way, and I knew that I would be emotionally available just getting out of a marriage. So, I tried to warn her, tried to, put her on that, I'm not out here seeking different women. I'm actually, on my journey. I'm on a course where I have to focus on different things and getting my life together as a man before I get to introduce or bring anybody in. But, she flipped on me, and and I had to deal with it for some time. But it is what it is. You dig what I'm saying? Like, even now, I don't really care about it like that. But my attitude towards her, she took it as disrespect. And she didn't like that I was being so nonchalant about the situation. And she took that as me not caring about her feelings or her emotional state, because she was going through some shit as well. But that's not really my problem. You dig what I'm saying? You have, as an individual, as a man, I have to take care of myself first. And I was encouraging her and to women out there that they must take care of themselves also. They must heal from their traumas. We all must heal our traumas ourselves first before we get to pour into other people. But this nonchalant attitude can rub off on people, and it can affect them also. So once again, this can be confused with being unemotional, right? But let me go back and say that I did put it out there that I wasn't going to be available to her emotionally. Emotionally, I wasn't available to her, but I knew I had to channel that emotion back into myself to make sure that I was in check, that my mental health was in check, that my physical was in check, that I was making sure that I wasn't just going out there pouring myself back into myself and my energy back into another woman. All right. She didn't understand that, but as a man and as men, we must understand that. So if you have to kick somebody to the curb, or, distance yourself from certain people at certain times, whether it be man or woman, certain friends that you can't deal with, you just have to do that. It's tough. It's sometimes, the truth hurts. The truth hurts people, but you have to do it for yourself and to really get yourself at a place where you're content and you're balanced with your emotions. All right. The last thing I'm gonna touch on is that this nonchalant attitude brings forth your confidence and a playful side, and you're playful in a sense. And I know we may say, like, you're saying you're nonchalant, you're laid back, you're mellow. How is this playful? Well, when someone finally comes to you and you could pick up on a vibe, and somebody that's cool, somebody that's willing to be with you and entertain you, and not entertain you like give, like, when I say entertain, I don't mean like something that's like they're giving you their attention and bring you something that's making you happy ultimately, right? What I mean is that they're giving you attention, right? If somebody's willing to give you attention, you're willing to give them attention back. Your attitude, this nonchalant attitude, if they're joking with you, you're not taking it as serious, right? You're just going along with it. This is just your demeanor. This is just your attitude. So when something comes your way, you can joke about it. All right. It doesn't just mean that you're just this stone cold person. It doesn't mean that you're just so reserved that you don't know how to have fun. This is also a side of you, this nonchalant attitude, that you are able to play. You are able to play around. I talk about the inner child, right? And you must tap into that energy to know when it's time to play, and then you got to know when it's time to work. So this is all about energy, right? So when you're playful in a sense with this nonchalant attitude, once again, you're not taking anything that's serious. So if something happens even that it is serious, you can see the brighter side of it. You can see the playful side and make a joke about it. And that's where that playfulness comes from when you have this attitude. It's already good enough that you don't care about it that much. So to be able to joke and laugh about it, that's the playful side that I'm talking about. Being that things aren't that serious to you, and you know when matters call for when to really take things serious and be able to handle it, you have this attitude with you even when you're going through those tough times. Once again, you can still find the brighter side to it, laugh about it at the end when everything is taken care of, and you'll feel better about the outcome instead of being angry and outraged and being so stern on just solving a problem. You're easy with it. You're taking your time. And that's why I say you're able to control time in a sense, because we want to rush and figure things out, right? As men, we just want to figure it out, get it done. But sometimes when you just fall back and be like, all right, it is what it is. I'll take my time. I'll take my time to respond. I'll take my time to handle this certain situation because I have other priorities. Things become easier and things become more manageable for you. And this all comes from that nonchalant attitude and how we handle our business as men. All right. So my boys, with that said, once again, I always appreciate y'all coming to the channel, checking out the content. Check the description. All the links to donate to the channel, to help grow the channel, is in the description. Also, there's a super thanks. My email, crowdofboyz with a Z @gmail.com. Reach out. If you want to talk to the guy, we can do a consultation. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the content. Let's get the algorithm trip and going with this content. Help the channel grow in any way that you can. You dig? So with that said, my boys, as always, with love and peace.